Hi there, welcome back to my views and news. Studio stories. First one is about Wolkait Humera Tsegede, contested territory by Tigray and Amhara region. For a few days, I have been thinking about making a video on Wolkait because the issue of Wolkait is a core issue. It's a flashpoint, and some developments happened in the last few days. Secondly, Jawar Mohammed was planning to hold a political conference, a gathering in the US. It has not been held so far. What happened? Who is contacting other parties on behalf of Jawar? What happened? Why is it being delayed? Details for you in this video. Let's start first. Firstly, Wolkite. 2 points I want to make about Wolkite. Wolkite still is a flashpoint. It is one of the core issues between Tigray and Amhara. The day issue of Wolkite is solved, election can be held in Tigray. If election is held, representative government will take over and you'll see stability. So the obstacle to stability in Tigray is the issue of Wolkite. Issue of Raya almost settled because Tigray forces or in control of Raya. Tigray IDPs have returned to Salamti. To main issue is Wolkite. If IDPs return, Wolkite issue is solved, you'll see stability in Tigray. Issue is unsolved. Firstly, Wolkite, Tsegede, Salamti, Amhara Scholars Association issued a statement. WTTAS is the name of this organization. WTTAS claims that TPLF is making preparations for another war in Volkite. I don't know if it's true or not, but this organization, which has been working to make Volkite part of the Amhara region, claims that the preparations are underway once again. TPLF wants to make Volkite a battleground. Tigray side, on the other hand, accuses Amhara groups that they have established new militias. Wolkite Defenders, Tsegede Defenders is the name of the militia, which is being trained and deployed along Tsegede. Tension is there. I want to make one point, and that is about the decision about status of Wolkite, which cannot happen now. The internal conflict in Tigray is going to delay the decision about status of Wolkite. Tigray government has no administrative control of several parts of Tigray. It has no control in northwestern Tigray. It has no control in parts of eastern Tigray, in parts of central Tigray. If issue is solved today and Wolkite becomes part of Tigray, or some part of Wolkite becomes part of Tigray, who will govern it? Will it be governed, will it be administered by Gita Achoreda government or by TPLF? What do you think the two groups will fight, or they'll try to take over Wolkite? And you'll see a tussle between Gitacho group and the Debrecen group to take over Wolkite. And if somehow Gitacho government and federal government agree on some sort of solution about Wolkite, will the Debrecen group accept the solution? I don't think so. Gitacho and federal government agreed on DDR. Some journals agreed to. People Debrecen is opposing DDR, saying that hasty DDR is against the interests of Tigray. That is why this issue of Wolkite cannot be solved now. Before the solution, there must be unity in Tigray. Tigray will have to solve its internal issues first. And then it can talk to Amhara, talk to federal government about Wolkite. EPLF a few days ago called for dialogue, saying that it was agreed in Pretoria that political dialogue will be conducted to solve issues. It is requesting that dialogue should start. Who will represent Tigray if dialogue starts? Gitacho group or the Bretzian group? Will the two jointly represent Tigray? Will they sit side by side? Do they have the same views about Tigray's interests? No. That is why I'm saying that the issue of Wolkite now is set to continue. IDPs might return. Return of IDPs is one thing, but the decision about status of Wolkite is another thing. Status of Wolkite now cannot be decided by federal government and Getachew or federal government and the Betsy, there must be consensus in Tigray first. And perhaps this state of uncertainty, this state of instability suits the federal government of Ethiopia. Wolkait is a difficult decision to be made. It would be difficult for federal government to propose a solution which will be acceptable to both Tigray and Amhara, to all the groups in Tigray, to all the groups in Amhara. The federal government must be feeling relieved that these people are fighting among themselves. Let them fight. Let Fano and PP fight as well. Issue of Wolkait should go on as it is. Secondly, because Jawar was planning to hold a political conference in the US to invite opposition parties. He was planning to establish an opposition political front. So what happened? Why is that still no conference has been held? Who is negotiating with opposition parties, opposition politicians on behalf of Jawar? An Ethiopian businessman, a millionaire, reportedly is contacting some Ethiopian politicians on behalf of Jawar. Ilyas Ibsa is his name, reportedly. Ilyas Ibsa and some others, they have contacted several Ethiopian opposition politicians from the Amhara region. Some Tigrayans have been contacted to Somalis as well. So far, Jawar is finding it difficult to bring them all together on one platform. Though the agenda, they're trying to meet on one point agenda, and that is removal of the government. Jawar is inviting them on one point agenda, that let's work together to remove this prime minister, this government. But politicians from Amhara, politicians from Somali region, politicians from Tigray, politicians from other groups and Eritreans too, they want clarity. They say, what will happen after the removal of Abiy? If Abiy goes, who will replace? Is Jawar interested in replacing Abiy? Does Jawar have any post-Abiy plan or not? This is the question. Jawar definitely does not have a post-Abiy plan. He would say that we'll hold election and genuinely elected people will take office. But for holding of election, you need to put in place transitional government. Who will lead the government? Which parties will be part of the government? There are lots of questions. What will be the role of armed groups, Pano, Ola, etc.? Jawar does not have the complete blueprint of his plan to bring about change, to remove Zimbabwe's government. He wants to return to Ethiopia, basically. He knows that he is popular. He knows that he is creating an upheaval in the country. He is effectively using social media. So by aligning with other politicians, he wants to return to Ethiopia, and then he wants to cash in on anti-Abiy sentiment and contest election against Abiy. If election is held, Jawar will definitely give a tough time to Abiy's Team Abiy. Other politicians, they say, let's talk about post-Abiy scenario as well. What will happen after? So lots of questions which Jawar will have to answer before holding this opposition gathering. So far, he has not been able to get support from politicians from other ethnic groups and politicians from abroad too, not from Ethiopia. Let's see. Thank you for watching.